Hello everybody, welcome back. Last video of the day, and this is on SXP. So SXP, obviously, go back in time, looks like a pile of, well, you know what it looks like. But where you see charts like this, there is opportunity. I'm never one to say that it's completely dead. Although, you know, we did make some good money on the way up, and most of us hopefully got out on the way down. But when something is backed by such major players, the chances are it is going to go back up again, right? It's not going to be allowed to die. Plus, it does actually have utility, but we mainly look at charts on this channel here. So very rarely do I ever go into any fundamental value of anything. But like I say, you know, it's backed by the big boys, and there is some utility to it. So let's have a look at what's the chart. What is the chart doing? Okay, so the chart is definitely bottomed out at this level, right? So what we see on these sort of situations like this is like the final sort of nail in the coffin, the final shakeout of the people who are basically holding from all the way back here, you know, and then just couldn't take it anymore. You see this quite regularly. You even saw this on Bitcoin, you know, back in 2018. You see it with everything that's gone basically parabolic and then basically collapsed into its own shadow, which is basically what happened here. So there has now what I imagine to be a bit of a turning point for it. Okay, so I'm not saying that, you know, this is where we're going. This is unlikely to be where we're going, you know, at least for a long time yet. But there is opportunity in this chart. So what we see is the big bottoming area here, you know, and I guess a retest of that area, but a slightly higher high. Or should I say higher low, really? That's what I mean. And then basically it starts to move. Now what we see here is an Ichimoku cloud cross beneath the cloud. It's a buy all the same, but it's not a strong buy, okay? But it is a buy, but it's not a strong buy. And the reason for that is because this Chiku span is always going to be below or touching the price action at the time. So it's by far a perfect signal, but it does often give us an insight into where it's likely to go. So we did get that, and again, you know, massive pump and a sell-off. That back down to the 20 daily moving average, which I should mention we are above now, plus it's upwards facing. Now we poked our head above this cloud for the first time recently, and we're now staying above this cloud. So staying above here with this cross, you know, that's not exactly diverging, but it's not collapsing back in on itself, is a reasonably maybe a bit over optimistic expectation that it's going to make some big moves, but we have to now look at where we're likely to go. So the first thing I would say is that we do have this topping area here, which corresponds to quite a few areas on the chart, and if we have a look at those, we'll see them a bit more clearly. So it might even go back further than that. Yeah, kind of. It's mainly relevant here. So we had a top here, we had a top here, we had a top here, we've had a top here. So it's reasonable to assume that if we break above this zone here, then we'll be going up to the next level. So the next level, in my opinion, is going to be these areas here, about $1.70, which is quite a decent move from where we are at, you know, right now. If we were to break through that resistance, get to $1.70, we're talking about a 67% move, you know, and that's likely to happen quite quickly. You know, when people get back on the SXP train, it will likely look quite good. Actually, you know, scrub that single line there. I've already got something in from when we were trading it before, when I was looking to get involved at the very first hurdle, so we can keep those zones in because they're relevant to here. So this is where I bought in before, and obviously got out staggered up on the way up. I didn't get out at the top, because it was gonna come back down again, obviously. So anyway, I got out around these areas, but this is the zone to be interested in. So again, this is where it will get very, very interesting. So breaking above here, breaking above this, and turning this area to support, which I don't think is going to happen anytime soon. I think we're going to move around in this zone as the 20 daily moved up, basically crushing us into some kind of rising wedge formation. As you can see, it's going to look a little bit like that, roughly, you know, because that's the 20 daily moving average. So we're going to be playing around within here, and obviously this could make or break the way it's going to move. It could break to the down, and that would be dreadful, and we would be coming back down to these zones again. If we were to break out of here, though, it would be a nice move, and it would likely take us up to here sooner than later. So this is going to be our blue box zone of interest, and almost certainly get rejected from there. and probably quite significantly, because this one moves extremely volatile. People are going to be afraid of it. I don't blame them. I don't blame them for being afraid of it. So, you know, this could be essentially the, you know, getting close to being the bottom. And, you know, in an alt season when most alts move, we are looking at some of these charts like this that have been massive performers in the past, but have almost been forgotten about and died and essentially rising back from the dead. So these are the sort of coins that interest me the most, really. So I've gone in on this one on a bot. So I do a lot of bot trading. So I've started the bot today on this one because I expect this range to be played, and that's basically why I thought it would be a decent opportunity for a bot to basically make profit during this period before it has its breakout. And then obviously the breakout will be traded, but I'd likely want to go and hold a spot trade from this point. If we can confirm this to be a support, then the spot trade would probably be the best way to play this one, if I can catch it in time. So yeah, the bot, like I say, I've got a BNB to SXP bot playing around in this zone, and then I am looking for a big breakout to bring us up to this level, around about $1.73 to maybe as much as $1.86. Anyway, there's not a great deal more to go by on that one on the daily. Weekly is going to look pretty rubbish because there's not really any history for us on the weekly. We can go to a 4-hourly for what it's worth, which again, you know, shows us, you know, we've got a positive cross here for, you know, beneath the clouds, so it's not great. We got money flow coming into it nicely, and so there's not really a great deal to go by at the moment. We're going to play this range, and this range is going to break one way or another, and I expect it to, because we are, you know, still technically in an alt season. I expect it to break out. I should say though, Bitcoin is making its move now, so I'm hoping that we do find some form of rejection around here, or we just continue sideways within this area here, beneath the center of the Bollinger Band to the bottom of the Bollinger Band, or maybe even the green 50 exponential, and go sideways amongst there. A breakout for Bitcoin wouldn't be too good for alts, unfortunately. I feel as though the money is leaving alts at the moment, going back into Bitcoin, because people have made such significant gains. But, you know, as far as the chart is concerned at the moment, this Bitcoin dominance chart on the daily is very, very, very bearish still. But, you know, how long can something be bearish for? You know, how long can it be bearish for? Yeah. That's a question nobody really knows. But, you know, we're finding this bounce now, probably get a rejection around 64, 67, maybe 65. That's my expectation, a rejection around there. And then the money going back into the alts and hopefully pumping those bags. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day and take it easy.